Hey, Steve's Giant Pumpkins at Steve Grows Pumpkins, the 2026 Jacket Chase, episode number 3. Today, I'm going to show you my germination incubation station. But before we do that, let's check out an update on my broad forking. Alright, hear me out. Next year, we do pre-season patch tours. Bring your broad fork. You sign up for that, right? Okay, so let's just clear up. I said last time I wasn't saying it's a dumb idea to broad fork the whole thing. I was saying that I thought it was dumb of me to think I could do the whole thing. However, again, not being under any time pressure and slowing down a little bit and easing into this season. And in fact, I'm a couple of days ahead of schedule now. The entire patch, every square inch of it, main patch, broad forked. Alright, I call these plots sections plant number 1, plant number 2. These are the top 2 spots, primarily just because of square footage. This spot here, however, has produced my current personal best, so high on that spot too. You see a little bit different pattern here. I'm going to step over here. So what I was doing right here, when we checked this out last time, I was broad forking in this direction, turned around, went back, broad forked that way, and I'm walking on top of the ground that I broad forked. I switched that up, and you can probably tell the difference here, I hope, on all the rest of it. And I was broad forking only while standing on unforked ground. So I would go all the way down here and broad fork in front of me, walking backwards all the way through. And I switched up direction a couple of times for fence lines and stuff like that. This whole section was really soft. It wasn't even that hard to do. Got good depth on it, and I even got a little bit brave, and I went through my heating cable zones, and I eased into it and got a little bit deeper each time that I got down into it, and ultimately I got full depth all the way, and I thought that was the case. You know, I knew I buried them pretty deep, so I did that here and over there. And then on this side, so these two areas were not as easy to do, and I'm blaming that on my cover crop. Not blaming it, but that's probably the reason why. So basically, rocked back and forth and lifted up the sections and broke it loose from the subsoil and set it right back down where it was. Anyway, I wasn't going to broad fork right here because I dug this heating cable in with my tractor bucket off my 1025R John Deere, and it wasn't near as deep as the other 3, which I did with the excavator. But again, I eased into it, and ultimately I ended up going full depth and not having any issues. Walk up here and take a little look at the cross section of my cover cropped area. This is a winter rye that I put in right after we harvested everything out last fall, and hopefully I've mowed it for the last time. I already mowed it 4 times this year. This side, this is where the 1507 grew last year. It's been a really reliable spot to me. I've had 2 successful grows in it the last 2 years, so this is going to be spot number 3, and this will be spot number 4. 1705 Caspers was grown here a couple years ago, and nothing since then. It was really good looking yesterday when it didn't sit up here and dry out all day. You could really see the root structure from the cover crop all the way down, and it goes all the way down through here. Soil is held together. Looks like I've got a bunch of soil bricks laid out all over the patch here where I did all the broad forking, and I think this is the one I laid up yesterday. Yeah, I laid this one up intentionally so that I could show you the root structure in it, but again, it's here out in the sun and dried up. You can't really see it on the camera very well anymore. But yesterday, when it was kind of wet from being underground, you could really see it, and I'm really happy with it all. I'm going to show you my incubation station, what I prefer to germinate in. I'm not instructing. I'm not telling people this is how you have to do things. There's a bazillion ways to do things, and I'm using a method that's been consistent and reliable to me the last couple of years. All right, that system would be incubators, and I added a new incubator this year, and this is all reliable. Both of them sit on 82 degrees, and I like for the soil temperature to be 80 degrees, and I had this set on 80 degrees, and what I was finding with my thermopin here, with regular checks on the soil, is that the soil is usually only around 77, 78 degrees. So I bumped it up a couple of degrees, and I'm maintaining a perfect 80 degrees in the soil now. This is empty. I had a bunch of tomatoes and some other variety things in here. I didn't realize this was so short when I bought it. It doesn't fit the cups that I prefer to do germination in giant pumpkins, so I'm still using the old one, which fits the bigger cups. This is an example of the little cup that I put in here, and this is a 610 J Yowie that I gave up on, did not germinate. It was the only one that didn't germinate. So little cup here. Everybody knows the drill. You put some water in your soil and give it the squeeze test and get a drop of water out of it. All that goes in here. Seed goes in here. I put a little cap on it for a humidity dome, and right in the incubator it goes. Alright, a little bit different style incubator, and again, it is maintaining right at 80 degrees inside of the cups. And you see my humidity is around 34% right now. I like to run that around 50% when I'm germinating. I don't have anything in here germinating right now. I do have a couple of non-germinators that I just left in here just to show you. These are some rootstock, and these were basically experiment, and you can see they're dried up now, but I just left them in here just to show you what I'm working with. This was just a little experiment. I was trying different seed positions. I got a bazillion rootstock seeds, and this one's still a little bit moist, and they've been in here for about 8 days now. I don't expect to get any action on that. Well, actually, so here's the thing I like about this incubator is I can reset it. This is the egg count days, and all these things have been in here for 7 days now. It's going to actually hit day 8 later this evening. And then a giant pumpkin seed that did not germinate. And I have very few of these, so I like these cups mainly because I can see the root. So you can see now I got no germination on this at 8 days. I'm just going to keep it in here, and I'm going to keep monitoring it. Still holding a little bit of moisture in there. I'm not overly concerned about it. I've already moved on from this seed. But sometimes when you don't get cots popping out of the soil, you can look right in the cup and you can see roots coming here, so you know you're good to go. You just got to give it a little bit more time to get popped out of the soil. So again, 80 degrees, about 50% humidity, and you control the humidity in these by adding a little bit of water to them. And when I put my next round of seeds in here, I'll put a little bit of water in there and get this humidity up to 50%. Same thing for this one over here. It's trucking right around 36% right now. And again, nothing in it. I'm going to put another round of tomatoes in here, another round of J Yowie tomatoes, and a few other tomatoes tomorrow. Trying to start a batch every couple of weeks. Out of my incubator set up, I typically get germination within 72 hours. I've had them in as quick as 48 hours, and some take a little bit longer. I had seed just this year, the 2618 Mendy took 5 days to germinate. That's odd. It doesn't usually happen that way. Usually 3 days is spot on. 80 degrees, 50% humidity, and I put the cups in here the day before and let them start getting warm before I ever even put a seed in them. I do not soak, and I do sand sometimes. I don't always sand, just depends on what the seed looks like. You know, you get some of those thin white seeds, I won't sand those. A big thick seed that's large and got lots of shell on it, and I will sand those. And everybody knows the process for that. I'm not going to go into that. Again, I'm not telling you what to do. You got to figure out what works for you. That's basically what I've done here. This method has been reliable for me for going on 3 years now, and if it ain't broke, I ain't going to fix it. I trust it, and it's consistent, so that's just what I continue to do. Again, no soaking, sometimes sanding, 80 degrees, 50% humidity. All right, that's update number 3, the growing show. Next time we see you, should have plants in the ground. So lots of work to do between now and then. And I'll see you next time.